All right, appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, Coastal Carolina recap to start with. Heartbreaking loss. Tough to lose a game that way right at the end. You got to give them credit. They made plays at the end, and we didn't. So that's how the game ended that way. Disappointed that we didn't finish the game. Offensively, we had an opportunity on 3rd and short to put the game away and didn't get it done. And then had to punt, and then gave them a 2-minute drive there at the end where they scored a touchdown and then went for 2 and got it. So hats off to them for making plays when they needed to. I think our guys continue to play hard and fight. We don't play great all the time in certain areas, but I really do like this team. I continue to like their desire to compete and fight hard and all the way, to the end, good and bad. And that's something our team's done all year. So obviously for us, we got to continue to improve in some areas. On defense, obviously we gave up some pass plays there. We got to continue to try to put our guys in better positions to help them do a better job. That's something that we're trying to focus on each and every week, and we have made improvements, but wasn't good enough on Saturday. Offensively, I thought we did some good things at times. We did have a lull there in the second quarter. We got off to a great start, which is something I was really excited about. Scored, I think, our first 3 possessions, and then responded in the second half with 2 more touchdowns. So all in all, I thought the performance was pretty good there. Like I said at the end, the opportunity in 4-minute offense to really put the game away and not put the defense back on the field was something that was disappointing for sure. Defensively, didn't start well, and that was something that was disappointing. We focused on all week as a team, getting off to a great start, and didn't get that done. And I think the key of the game to me was the 3rd downs. They were 12 of 19, I think, on 3rd downs. It's going to be hard to beat teams when they're 12 of 19 on 3rd down. We got to get off the field on 3rd down. That's something that we're definitely putting some time in, trying to figure out some answers there, because that's going to be a key here as we get into these last 4 games here. Special teams I thought was solid, not great, but solid. We didn't have big returns like we needed, but at the same time I thought we covered pretty well. I thought Tyler Sumter kicked the ball well, so we were solid in that area. Our players of the week on offense, Reggie Todd, I think he had 4 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Thought he played well. He made a big play there in the second half on the post ball, which was huge, and then obviously the one early. So really pleased with how he played overall. Carlton Marshall was our defensive player of the week. Just continues to make tackles behind the line of scrimmage as well as downfield, and he's a solid guy. He's a true Trojan. He's a warrior, and I know we're glad he's on our side. Special teams was Tyler Sumter. I thought he punted the ball extremely well, almost 45 yards of punt, and really had one inside the 10 and another inside the 20. So thought he did an excellent job, made his extra points. So pleased with those 3 guys. And like I said, obviously disappointed we didn't get the win. That's something that's frustrating for us, for our players, for our staff, for our fans, and everybody. But it's something that we have to continue to fight and improve in the areas that we need to improve on. And until we get better in those areas, defending the pass, getting off the field on 3rd down, finishing some drives with touchdowns, which we have improved in that area over the last few weeks. Then we're going to have to, there's no margin for error sometimes, and we have to make sure that we play pretty well all the way around. Looking at Georgia Southern, it's a good football team, 5-3 record, 3-1 in the Sun Belt. They're on a 4-game win streak. Those guys have really improved. I think they got a really talented football team. When you watch them early in the year and where they are now too, you see the improvement. I think they had a big win, obviously, on the road last week at App State. Made some big-time plays on the road in our league, which is always hard in a tough environment. And so definitely have a huge challenge. But the good thing is we'll be back here at the Vet, which is exciting. And it's an afternoon game that we're looking forward to for sure. Offensively, they're an option football team in the shotgun, but they run a lot of option, various formations, always looking to outnumber you and get an advantage from a number standpoint. I think it all starts with our quarterback, Wirtz, he's a fantastic player. He makes them go. He's tough. He's athletic. He's kind of the thing that makes them go. He's the 3rd leading rusher on the team, and that's not surprising in an option-based offense. The 2 running backs are really talented. J.D. King, I think he's a transfer from Oklahoma State. their leading rusher, 530-something yards. Really good player, runs physical. Really, we're going to have to do a great job of trying to hold these guys down. Wesley Kennedy's their other running back. He's their second leading rusher. He leads the team in touchdowns with 7, so he knows how to get the ball in the end zone. I think those 3 guys are a key to their offense. Obviously, what they do, running the option, they're going to find ways to get the ball in those 3 guys' hand. That's their playmakers. So it's a big challenge for us for sure up front. Defensively, big and athletic. I think it starts with their 2 linebackers. Those guys are fantastic in the box. Their whole front seven's very talented. They play downhill. You can see them playing with more and more confidence as the year's going. They're an odd front, mixed various coverages behind. I think they do a great job with their scheme. The 2 linebackers I mentioned earlier, Rashad Bird and Reynard Ellis, are both really good players. They're the top 2 leading tacklers on their team. I think Bird has 6 tackles for a loss, total of 59 tackles, so he's very active. He's going to make plays in and around the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. They both fly around, play physical, downhill, what you want out of linebackers. And then I think you also have to mention their corner, Kendall Vilder, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but just he's a solid guy. Got a lot of experience. He plays with a lot of confidence. I think he's one of the better corners in our league, probably an NFL caliber player. And so definitely a challenge there in the secondary. Special teams, Tyler Bass is their kicker, also does the kickoffs. He's solid. I mean, he made a 49-yarder in the wind at App State the other night, so that was pretty impressive. Kickoffs, 34 of his 41 have been touchbacks, which is a pretty good percentage there. And so, they're very solid in the special teams. As Anthony Beck is their punter. He's averaging over 40 yards. He's got a long of like 74. So just all around a really good football team. One of the better teams in our league. They have been since they've been in our league, so we're going to definitely have a huge challenge. But I think our guys will be excited and ready to go. We need to have a great week of practice and try to correct as many things as we can from the last week or so and give ourselves a great opportunity on Saturday to win a game. All right, questions?
You mentioned a lull in the second quarter. Was that more of Coastal's adjustments or just you guys missing a mark? Can you just?
Well, we gave up a couple of pressures. I didn't see them do anything different. I think somewhat of execution. You got to give them credit. Sometimes they just made plays. We did have a third quarter offensive pass interference that hurt us. That was critical. I believe we scored there or have an opportunity to score, but that stalled one drive, and the other 3 were just kind of maybe got beat in protection one time and across our face on a wide zone another time. So just a combination of them making some plays, nothing different. Just comes down to us, being able to execute, consistently.
And then what do you guys do to change where you get off to that faster start on defense? Like you mentioned, how do you change it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's something we're still looking for answers on. I think our guys, we get ourselves in third down position sometimes and don't get off the field on third downs. And I think Brandon and his staff are doing a great job of trying to look and figure out, okay, what can we do that's different? I think we have to do something a little different, whether it's personnel or whether it's sometimes scheme. But at the end of the day, we got to get our guys in position, which we've done that, and we expect them to make plays. And if we need to change personnel to give us a better opportunity, we will.
My last question: What was your message to the team after that one?
Yeah, it's a hard one. You go in after losing at the end like that, and you feel bad for your own players. I mean, they're hurting, you're hurting, so you try to encourage as much as you can. You also say, hey, the reality of the situation is we got 4 games left that we need to really play well in. We're going to play some really good football teams, and so for us, the only answer we have is to turn around and go to work and keep fighting. And I think that's what this football team is going to do and has been doing. And then hopefully we'll get a few breaks down the stretch and some things that hadn't gone our way. But this team's very resilient. I think they got a lot of character, and they'll continue to fight and practice and play extremely hard and make Troy University proud.
Coach, you've lost 4 of your last 5. What's the mood like in that locker room right now?
Yeah, well, losing's not fun for sure. I mean, I think our guys are frustrated some. We've lost some close games. I think we've lost 3 by 12 points, which is unbelievable. But hey, it's one of those situations where nobody's pointing the finger for sure. We're still together as a team, unified, and just trying to go to work every day and improve and get better. That's really the only choice we have. And there are no excuses. You know, we just hadn't won the games when we should have, and or could have, I'd say. So you know, I think our team is led by some kids that are older kids that have played some, that'll continue to fight. And I think that's been the kind of the message. Hey, let's go back to work, and let's finish this thing out the right way.
You mentioned the option-style offense that Georgia Southern presents. What are difficulties that goes into stopping that, slowing it down, and how do you not get lulled into that where they hit you then with that big pass?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think that's why it's such an effective offense. One is a lot of people don't do it anymore, and they're very good at what they do. It's not like they just run the option. They're very good at it. They have answers. I think, you know, for us, we have to be sound. We have to always have somebody on, you know, the dive quarterback pitch, the old adage of doing that. I think you have to be a disciplined defense and making sure that every play you're where you're supposed to be. And I think that's the challenge this week of getting our guys focused on doing their job every single play, because the one time you don't, it could go to the house. So I think that'll be our message to our team all week, especially on defense.